1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey y'all.
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, good morning. Happy Friday to you all and happy 5th of July. Yesterday was the 4th of July, which is Independence Day for America. For anybody who may not be aware, which you all should be, or else I don't know what you're doing. But you can call in at 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773. I am James Hake, host of the Hake Report, and I'm live as of this week every weekday, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m., right after Jesse's show on Jesse's video stream. You can catch it on his audio stream if you're on the jlptalk.com, the jesseleepeterson.com website. There is a audio stream that can I believe it continues to stream it, but we're not on TalkStream Live yet. I am not. Jesse is. I'm not. But you can catch me on Jesse's YouTube, Facebook, when Facebook is not censoring it, D Live, Periscope, and Mixer, and Twitch when Twitch is not. Actually, we're probably not going to turn Twitch back on. We're probably just going to do Twitch, Jesse Lee Peterson Twitch, for church only, just as a nice experiment to see if they don't kick us off completely, because they tend to just want to censor you for any little thing that you say. So maybe Twitch is church friendly. We'll find out. Or if they just completely hate all Christians, regardless. And I will get to your calls. But I want to know how your 4th of July was, and I'll be telling you about mine. And by the way, I am on Sundays as well. Sundays, 9 a.m. Pacific time on my channels. Go to thehakereport.com or look for The Hake Report on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, D Live, Mixer, and Twitch. Twitch doesn't know about me. I don't have as many haters yet as Jesse does. So I'm not getting my channel's not getting flagged. Otherwise, I'm sure that they would kick me off as well. But that's all right. And you can, like I said, you can call in. I will be working on, you saw Jesse's awesome shirt today. Designed by yours truly. Thank you. Cool, very cool font, Bebas. Rebuilding the family by rebuilding the man, and then it says bond rebuildingtheman.com below it. And that's just a cool design on the front, nothing on the back. And we will be putting it up on the Bond Teespring store, teespring.com/stores/rebuildingtheman. So I will tell you about my 4th of July this hour, but I wanted to touch briefly on some news items that I had reported to you guys at the beginnings of the hours for Jesse's show, just to comment a little bit about them. And then I want to get to a call or two, and then I'll tell you about my Independence Day. It was fun. You may have caught a couple of sneak peeks at the pictures from them. About that San Francisco George Washington High School mural, if you happened to hear my news report about it, that's going to be covered up. There's a George Washington mural at George Washington High School in, I believe, San Francisco, California, that's going to be covered up because of imaginary racism. And it depicts, like, colonists, something like that, standing on a American Indian or something like that. This was painted by a communist, and it depicts some slaves, black slaves, working in the field or something. And it was painted by this muralist, Arnautov, a Russian-born communist and social critic. I don't know why we allowed him in here, who was hired with the Federal Art Project funds as part of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt's New Deal. And Roosevelt was a Democrat. He greatly expanded socialism in this country and took away a lot of good stuff. He was a Democrat. A series of government programs the New Deal was a series of government programs meant to help lift the country out of the Great Depression in the 1930s. And it's disputed whether it worked. A lot of the liberals like to pretend it did. So these communists, Viktor Arnatov. So these commies, like Viktor Arnatov, back in the 30s, 1930s, I guess, 84 years ago, paint this mess, basically being critical of America and George Washington in those times. But the newer commies, today's communists, the high schoolers and stupid liberals up in San Francisco and all around the country, they're taking down Confederate monuments and flags and all kinds of stupid stuff. Brainwashed by anti-American fake history. They're creating the problem 84 years ago, and then they're coming back, the same type of people, and creating even more problem, more just mess. So dumb. And then there was this news report from Drudge. Kamala Harris says busing should be considered, not mandated. So speaking of creating mess and then creating more mess. So all that drama, Kamala Harris is the Attorney General, former California Attorney General, currently a senator for California, shamefully, who went after Joe Biden, former vice president under Obama. They're both trash people, Democrats. She went after him for being against forced busing mandated by the Department of Education, federally mandated. And she criticized him for being against that and said it was so hurtful. And it was very emotional for her. And she tweeted out a photo, that little girl was me, meaning she was affected by the busing policy from back when Joe Biden was a senator still, or, in the government, even when she was a kid. And now she's in her 50s or something. But anyways, all those emotions in that childhood photo, it just meant nothing. It was just to trick the blacks and the media, both of them puppets of liberalism, into supporting her. And it worked because the media hyped her emotional drama, which meant nothing. And now the blacks support her as opposed to Joe Biden. And so now Joe Biden's support is diminishing. Very predictable. AP reports Senator Kamala Harris said Wednesday that busing students should be considered by school districts trying to desegregate their locations. Ridiculous. Not the federal mandate that she appeared to support in pointedly criticizing rival Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden last week. And I talked about how it was just meant to trick the puppet blacks, and Joel liked that term, puppet blacks, because it's sad, but it's true. It's an accurate depiction, unfortunately. Shameful. And I have some more comments about colors and the decline of white history, and thankfully White History Month, and with the Great White Hope, and with Jesse Lee Peterson waking up white people, maybe we're turning back up. Coming back up out of the depths of the sea. But let me get to some callers. Greg, out of Rhode Island. Greg, first-time caller. How are you doing?
Hey, James. I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing fine. Thank you. Nice to hear from you.
Good. Happy White History Month.
Thank you. Same to you.
And,
Happy White History Month. How was your 4th of July?
Well, I had a blast. I went to the oldest Independence Day celebration in America in Bristol, Rhode Island, where we have a great parade, and everybody shows out with their red, white, and blue, and it's amazing.
Nice. What was the town in Rhode Island?
It's Bristol.
Bristol, Rhode Island, the oldest 4th of July celebration, Independence
Day celebration.
Nice.
In the country there.
That is cool. It pays to live in
up.
New England, I guess.
Yeah.
That is nice.
But so it was just interesting. They had like this Independence Day address, which was pretty cool. I guess I went to check it out, and everybody was clapping and everything. But what I'm confused about is that Bristol, Rhode Island is a very Christian community, and I expected that maybe someone from the church would get up and speak about it, but I didn't expect a rabbi to get up and speak and start talking about how America should be a melting pot and we need to take in the huddled masses, and even the Holocaust got brought up very briefly, but
Yeah.
they didn't talk about much about the Declaration of Independence at all, or anything about the Revolutionary War. The East Coast took a huge brunt of that. We have a lot of history with the Revolutionary War, and it was, not the focal point at all. And everybody was just cheering it on, and I kind of just went along with it. But I felt uneasy about it afterwards, because I just for a majority population to have a minority getting up there and telling us how America is,
Right.
just is kind of concerning. And I don't know what I should do about it, or other than just, continue to live to the best of my abilities. But I just was kind of turned off by it.
I definitely understand, and I can relate. And I know that a lot of the listeners can relate to that. That's a disgrace. That's selfish. That's an embarrassment. Like, he should be embarrassed. And I guess in a way, it's a shame that people kind of let that happen. I agree. I don't know what you should have done in that situation, but
I mean, people. The crazy part too is that, like, I got handed a mini Bible. People were like going about the crowd, like handing out little like stuff, and then I was talking to my buddy, and he was telling me how there were Tea Party guys that were going to the parade, and they were trying to hand out mini constitutions.
Yeah.
And apparently, they got banned from doing that.
That's so ridiculous.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I haven't looked that up.
Well, I mean,
hearsay,
that just shows you how far New England has fallen. I was looking at, I read yesterday morning on the 4th of July on Jesse's show at the very beginning, top of the hour, for the news segment. Instead of reading the news, I read part of the Declaration of Independence, and I read all of the states, the 13 colonies, from which those signers of the Declaration came, and where they represented. And, I was looking at New York. I'm like, New York, how far has New York fallen? Look at what they stand for now. And apparently it's the same thing across a lot of those New England states, a lot of those original 13 colonies. They're just disgraceful. Less so with the South, but even with the South, it's bad.
Blue.
Say that again?
Rhode Island, Massachusetts, they go very blue. They're very liberal.
And blue is anti-American, and people don't realize that. And I don't know if they are aware of it themselves, but it's anti.
Exactly. It's like
evil.
Everybody's in this under the spell.
Yeah.
That like they don't hear what's being said. Like, everybody's in autopilot.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow. Yeah. Nothing about the signers of the Declaration of Independence. None of it.
And
we never heard a single person mention what they were about. None of it.
When I was reading the Declaration of Independence, I'm like, man, this is inspiring. And how can you just skip over that as though it's like a boring part, or, oh, we all know about it? No, man, it's like a good reminder. And I've heard a lot of the words before, but you read the details and you read the words like the revolution was, it's what it's about, first of all. It's what the holiday is about. not about
Yeah.
the Holocaust or anything else, or melting pot crap. That's not what the founders wanted. They wanted
No.
a decent country, and melting pot doesn't make for a decent country, especially with there
It
being
was more about
so
being
indiscriminate.
independent, being under some other rule, from some higher up that don't know what the heck's going on.
Yeah, they talk about discrimination, and they're indiscriminate, meaning they're not discriminating. They don't have discriminating taste. They discriminate against what's right and promote what's good in the name of non-discrimination. They promote, what's evil in the name of non-discrimination. And just the trash people. Look at the people that they're bringing in. They're overwhelming the system with these illegal aliens coming in, flooding in, and so-called asylum seekers. They want to pretend that they're refugees, gaming our refugee system, which we should end all refugees entrances except for South Africa. But they want to do that, and then they blame the Border Patrol for being overwhelmed and for the conditions over there. But they're the ones who created the conditions. It's insane, and
Upside down.
that's why it's so nice that Jesse brings the not just sane political dialogue, but the sane spiritual dialogue, because this stuff, because we've been raised to be so weak and angry and blind and don't really know right from wrong and stuff like that, or we kind of know right from wrong, we just get pissed. I said a bad word. We get mad at the wrong, at all the evil and stuff, and then we become evil ourselves. That's why it's nice to have like people like Jesse and Trump setting an example of fighting evil, but leaving out the anger part, so that we don't become evil and we don't become their puppets, because people become puppets of evil and controlled opposition because they become angry, and they have that whole meme of the angry white man. They want that. They want to provoke.
They into it.
Yeah. They want to provoke with this insanity. That's what Obama was trying to do, constantly trolling us by just blatantly lying, and idiots believed him, and then we were kind of idiots who got mad at him for him doing his job, because he's a child of the lie, so he's doing children of the lie job. So that's nice that Jesse's and others, Trump, are like calling for unity and fighting with joy and unity, as opposed to
I think
anger.
people are waking up.
Yeah. All right, man. Nice to hear from you, Greg.
Thank
Great
you.
call.
Yeah, good talking to you.
All right, take care.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to get to some more callers, but I want to touch on this solutions for fighting this degeneracy. Oh, by the way, that first-time caller from Jesse's show, I just want to comment about it. That caller, Tyrone from Indianapolis, first-time caller, he's like, he didn't want to refer to himself as black because he said that's something that was passed down to us, and Jesse's like, let it slide. And that was nice, because he got to stuff that he really wanted to talk about, which was actual real issues, which was how, for example, Jesse talks about this anger thing and dropping anger and dealing with people with no anger, and he's catching on about the anger thing. And that's something that all people can really relate to, because it's a real thing. It's not just a shallow thing. So it was tempting to judge him for not, it was tempting to me to judge him for being like, I don't want to refer to myself as black, because he has a hang up about the black thing. But he's catching on with this other stuff. And so, like, just because fellow seekers or fellow Christians or whatever you want to call us don't see each other's points about certain things, you got to cut people slack for not seeing your point, and for having different hangups, because everybody's growing, I guess, hopefully. Otherwise they're shrinking. Let me get to one more caller, and then I'm going to talk about this fighting the degeneracy stuff. Youssef, first-time caller out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. How are you doing, Youssef?
I'm good. I'm good.
No man is good. I think I'm the one who came up with that joke.
This man is good.
All right. So
This man good.
So what's up? Happy
Mhm.
belated happy
Go
4th
ahead.
of July to you.
You too, brother. You too.
Thank you. So what's up?
So, like I was saying, I was listening to Jesse, what I'm saying, but I'm talking to you right now
Yeah.
about, what I'm saying, he said that Muslims are taught to lie. And, what I'm saying, this is clearly not true, brother.
It's clearly not true that Muslims are taught to lie?
Are not taught to lie.
And how is that clear to you? Because it's not clear to me that they aren't. It's not clear to me that they aren't, and part of that is that both the well-behaved liberal Muslims, the ones that come into this country and they dress up nice and talk smoothly.
Wait a minute. Repeat yourself, brother.
Okay, so it's not clear to me that Muslims are not taught to lie. It seems to me that they are taught to lie, like most people. But anyways, like Muslims specifically. Because the liberal Muslims are liars because they're liberals. And then the Muslims that are more like radicals or like into the religion, it seems like they're also taught to lie. They
Again, you said they're taught to lie. Where are you getting this from?
Well, I'll tell you. It seems like they lie, and I've heard that they're taught to lie. It's called like taqiya or something like that.
You're not giving me any kind of evidence. Where are you getting this from? Just like I'm asking.
It said
I've heard that
it's in there.
It seems like they taught to lie. So these are things that are coming from your opinion.
Right, my impressions. It's my impressions because I hear them lying. So, and then I hear reports that it's in their documents that they're allowed to lie to the infidel.
Again,
in order, blah, blah, blah.
Could you tell me what this report is? Could you tell
No,
me
I don't have to. No, but why do I have to? You're the Muslim.
Because you're making it up. You're sitting.
No, I'm not making it up. I heard it. I didn't make it up.
You said it seems. I heard.
Yeah.
You haven't told me anything where you got this. You can tell me where a Muslim lied to you.
Why do I have to tell you where it is? I know it
Because
exists.
you're sitting here lying. I said, okay, you can say something that's not true, brother. I'm just trying to tell you.
Yeah, but now I have to. Then I have to take your.
Incorrect.
But then I have to take your word for it, because
But I have proof. You know what I'm saying? In our book, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In our book, it told us, don't lie or be deceptive.
Huh?
Tell me.
Huh?
Now.
Are you on a
book,
speakerphone?
And our Quran tells us that. So, excuse me, bro.
Youssef, are you on speakerphone?
No, I'm on a regular phone.
Okay, all right. Yeah, stay close to your phone. Okay, go for it. So show me how it's clear. Show me how it's clear that you guys are not taught to lie.
Brother, I keep telling you, so now, bro, tell me how it's clear that we do lie. You can't, I'm saying, we can go back and forth on this. Now, I've given evidence about, you know what I'm saying, what we believe.
No, you didn't give me evidence.
I did. I told you what is in our book. What we believe.
What is it? What is it in your book? What does it say?
In Quran?
Yeah, whatever.
It says Muslims are not allowed to lie or be deceptive. That means, you know what I'm saying, we're not supposed to omit.
But somewhere else, it also says that you can lie to the infidel.
No, it don't.
Yeah, it does. Yes.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
No, it does.
No, it don't, bro.
Yeah.
No, it don't. No, it don't.
Yes, huh?
No, it don't. No, it
yes,
don't.
It does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Infinity.
Brother, I'm Muslim, so I'm telling you, it does not say that. I'm telling you.
I know, but you're just.
I've heard Muslims on your show.
You know what it sounds like. You know what it sounds like. It sounds like you're just lying to me right now.
Yeah, okay, bro.
It's such a trap, right?
I was like, you definitely y'all good with the lies, man. But you know what I'm saying? They cool lies, though. I get it.
Okay, so.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, you know what I'm saying? Tell people what they want to hear. Easy.
How come? Okay, tell me this. Answer me this. Answer me this. How come most Muslims are Democrats or lean Democrat?
Wait a minute. You don't know most Muslims. You don't know most Muslims are Democrats. There are 1.6 billion Muslims on the face of earth. How can most Muslims be Democrats?
The most Muslims in the States.
Yeah, that's a dumb question. Most Muslims are Democrats.
So you're.
Got so many Muslims in America. So how can most Muslims be Democrats?
Answer me. How come that most of them are Democrat?
Most Muslims not Democrats. There's 1.6 billion Muslims. Most Muslims. There's only 3 million Muslims in America. So how can, you know what I'm saying?
There has to be most of them, right?
After that.
How many are there? 3 million? So more than 1.5 million. I think it's 60% or 70% or 80% lean Democrat.
1.5 billion Muslims on the face
I'm
of
talking
the
about
earth.
America.
On the face of the earth. How can most of them be Democrats?
Well,
Yeah, exactly.
part of it, Youssef, is from what I hear, is that it's a socialist
Okay,
religion.
What you hear?
No,
Again,
don't
what
interrupt
you
me, man.
hear.
Don't interrupt me. I have to only go on what I hear because I don't really know a lot of
Yes,
Muslims.
course. Why don't you look it up? Why don't you find out instead of giving me
I'm not that
lies?
interested in pressing further.
Exactly, but you're interested in telling lies, though.
No.
I'll tell lies and take it.
See, now you're accusing me of doing what you're doing.
Brother, we live in this age of Google. You could just Google this.
Right, and I
now.
Googled it, and
But
I
you
found
won't
out.
play instead.
Hold on,
You
Youssef.
it's
Youssef,
propaganda.
here's something I Googled. I Googled it, and I said most Muslims are Democrat in Google, and Google was like, yes, most Muslims vote Democrat, and it's just a fact, or lean Democrat because many of them cannot vote. So it's proof. And then you lied and said that it's not. So you're lying to me. Are you a Democrat?
Brother, I'm not a Democrat, brother.
Are you a Republican?
I ain't no Republican either, Joe.
Then you're a Democrat.
I ain't no Democrat, Joe.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. So y'all say it's either you don't believe in that.
How'd you find Jesse's show?
Y'all some goofballs, man.
How'd you?
I mean, the only people goofy than y'all is the people that's all y'all. Joe.
How'd you find
So
Jesse's
go
show?
ahead and play that chicken song, nigga, and suck Jesse dick.
You didn't. Oh, I gotta hang up on you. You cussed. So can't keep talking with him. All right. Let's see. I wanna talk about this white decline, but I'll talk about it later. Victoria out of Arizona. How are you doing, Victoria?
I'm doing great. I just wanted to let you know, James said I just Googled about Muslims lying, and there is a component in Sharia law
Yeah.
that does say that they are encouraged to lie to us. Like you said, the infidel. So there is a component that does tell them that. It's Takiya, something like that, the component to Sharia law. It's like amendment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they have more than just the Quran.
Right.
Yeah.
And that. So I had to come in and support you, bro.
All right. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all know that. I mean, his whole demeanor was pretty deceptive.
Yeah, it was off, wasn't it? You could tell he was Democrat. Totally.
He might be friendly. No, actually, he's not friendly because like he started out pretending to be friendly, and then he said, he said vulgar stuff about. He said some vulgar stuff. So
He sure did. Yeah, he did. I saw it escalating, and I was like, "Oh boy, here we go."
So Youssef, I'm sorry, but you're a fake.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. You're a fake. Why do whites always apologize?
He's a fake.
I appreciate that, Victoria. Thank you.
I just wanted to come to your rescue, bro. I
Thank
love
you.
You know that.
Always need to be rescued by a woman. So, how was your White History Month so far?
Oh, it's been amazing. Yesterday was my birthday.
Nice.
And
Born on the 4th of July.
And my husband bought Race to Responsibility and another book. And
Sweet.
I just said yesterday was the best birthday I've ever had. I really, truly, I watched the whole parade. I watched everything. I heard President Trump, the greatest president ever in my lifetime. And I just got inspired by him again. And, 8 years of Obama, come on.
Right.
You know, you couldn't even, your flag couldn't even be flown.
I know.
It was crazy.
He hated America.
Like,
he hates America.
He motivated us.
As did Big Mama. Say that again?
I think that yesterday was a big motivation.
Yeah.
For patriots and Americans out here.
He called for
Americans.
He called for unity like he always does, and I think it's working. A lot of people, even the media, had to give him that. Like he left the politics out of it. He's just called for unity, and that's what he is all about. But they want to lie about him and divide the country. Well,
Of
they've
course,
been so used to pushing lies unrestricted that it's shocking to them for him to push back against them and not back down. So it's so cool. It's so
Right.
refreshing to have a politician who's not a politician, who's not like a politician.
And he's for us. That's
Yeah.
what people don't realize. He's for us, you know, and he's our voice, and we love it. And I think that, you know, there were people that I've spoke to absolutely enjoyed it, had a great time watching, and just feeling that camaraderie again, you know,
Yeah.
as patriots, you know, that we, you know, our relatives made this country, our forefathers, you know, and it is the greatest nation in the world. And, you know, I used to be afraid of people of color at one point, but now in my
And
walk
why?
that I'm with,
Why were you afraid of them?
well, because I had certain things happen to me, you know,
Oh, okay.
physically. So, so for that, but through Jesse's word, you know, through he's got such a simple solution to all of this. Everyone makes it so difficult, but
Yeah.
it's so simple just to forgive.
Yep.
And it's easy, it's free, and if you apply everything that he puts out there, like I told him yesterday, he helped me get myself back, because now I am remembering how I used to feel like as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, as a kid, before we get, like, tossed into the world, we don't really have a lot of care. You know what I mean? We don't really care about things to influence us the wrong way, you know?
Yep.
Until our parents get to us and start messing with us. And
Yeah.
things start
And they're trying to help, but then they hurt.
They do hurt. And I didn't think that my parents did until I started to really reflect
Yeah.
the certain things that made me angry, or
I know.
you know. And so I just see everybody now totally different than I did a year ago when I met you guys on YouTube, you know, on Jesse. But I see I'm revealed now. It's not something that someone tells me. It's when you go inside and you have that relationship with God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit. It's like you're revealed the truth, and only then are you revealed the truth. You know, when you're quiet, like you said. And it's deep. It gets real deep. And,
I appreciate it, Victoria.
Huh?
I appreciate it. I gotta get some more
it's
calls
amazing.
and I gotta present my White History Day yesterday.
I'm excited to hear about it. I hope it went well. You know,
Yeah.
James, you guys are amazing. Say
Thank
hi
you.
to Joelle.
I will.
Love you guys.
All
Take
right.
care.
You too. Take care. Let me see. Clark, real fast. Clark out of Michigan, first time caller. How you doing?
Good. How you doing there, man? I was sitting there listening to that Muslim guy talking
Can you
stuff
turn it
there.
down?
You know, I will agree with him. They're not taught to lie. They're just taught not to tell the truth. I'm just trying to explain it to you.
Okay.
You know, because they don't want to make themselves look like a liar in front of people, but they're just taught to not to tell the truth. And the Quran is built on other Bibles. See, that's what people don't understand. They jerk pieces out of the Bible, all through other Bibles, and put it into one book. And then they put radical shit in there.
Watch your mouth.
This Quran.
This Clark, it's a family show. We don't say SH word.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No worries. Yeah, so I didn't know that. I don't know what it is, but my position on it is all religions
Well, I know
are
what you're saying. I know what you're saying about
lies.
You feel that they're lying about things, but it is a lie. When, you know.
Okay,
when you
yeah,
come with the truth, it is a lie. You know that.
It's an imitation. It's an imitation morality. It's an imitation of what's right. It's just like liberalism. They want to
Right,
be about
exactly.
love, but in reality, they're about hate and just fake emotional stuff. And
Exactly.
it's
That's the reason
fake.
why they're so radical. I'm up here in Lansing, Michigan, and I'm
Oh,
only 80
Michigan.
miles from Dearborn, where that Ohan or whatever the hell her name is.
Right.
I never voted for her
Yeah.
in or anything. And Dearborn's right over here, 70 miles.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful place. It really is, man. I ain't gonna lie about that.
Yeah.
But I feel
Going down the tubes, though.
If some black and whites don't start coming together, I'm afraid we're gonna lose this country to these Muslims. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
I hate to say that, but I see it coming.
they act peaceful for the most part when they're like less than 10%, but then they get bold once they're 10, 20%. What's that?
And to get through these, the reason why they act decent is so they're trying to get into the court system
Right.
and stuff like that, the judges and stuff like that.
And they're
Just like you go
successful.
in the stores down here, they're all in the stores and everything, and they act real nice and everything. But one day you're gonna wake up and they're gonna take over.
The mayor
And as soon as
the
they
mayor
get in
of
court
London,
systems,
the mayor of London is a Muslim.
Politics up there, we're gonna be screwed.
Yep. I appreciate it, Clark. Good to hear from you, man. Good luck and stay safe in Michigan.
Peters, I've been trying to get on this show, man, for 100 years, and I can't get on there.
You got to
And,
call. You got to call early and often.
I do. I call it.
Right at 9
I
a.m.
finally gave up.
9 Eastern. Right at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. And then often.
Well, actually, that's like 6 o'clock in the morning here.
No,
In
it's 6 in,
Lansing.
no, it's 6 in the morning here. Lansing, Michigan.
No.
We start at 6.
Oh, then it must be 9 o'clock here then.
Yeah.
Because we're 3 hours different from you guys.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll do this at 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll try it. Or 8 o'clock in the morning. All right?
Yeah, 8, 9. I think 9 is when our phones kick on your time.
Okay. 8
Yeah.
o'clock, you said? I'm at 9 o'clock?
Yeah. So
Okay.
try right about
All
then.
I'll try to call him, man. I get tired of trying to call, and I just gave up on it.
All right. I'm glad I was able to help clear that up for you.
Hey, you have a good White History Month, too.
Thank you.
I appreciate Jesse doing that, too, and I love him. I love him for that.
Yeah,
And,
me too.
That's a hell of a thing to start. I
Yeah.
really was. I like that.
I totally appreciate it as well, what Jesse started with White History Month. Thank you, Clark.
Man, I tell you what, we would never got Trump in there. We'd lost this country.
By the way,
I'm telling you,
Yeah, you're right. You're so right. Trump is like,
we would have lost it.
yeah, I did not see him coming.
Hey, no, nobody did. And another thing?
Yeah.
After he had that first out in Florida, do you know he raised first they raised $25 million, right?
Yeah.
After that, the other day when he did that other speech, he raised $100 million. He didn't even try to raise it.
Yeah.
People just giving up $100 million.
That's nice. I saw that too.
And I'm ready to go down there and help build that wall free.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
ready. I'm not bullshitting. I'm sick of this horse shit.
All right, Clark.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
But anyways,
You're old.
Jesse Lee Peter, my family's
Your family's what?
from Alabama too.
Oh, right on. Nice.
Okay.
I love the South. I respect the South,
Yeah,
man.
Me too. But anyway, I'm gonna try and call and talk to him one of these times. All right.
All right, thank you, Clark. Take care.
Hey, you have a good one, babe. Bye.
Bye. He called me babe. He's from this old timers, man. Gotta love him. There was I don't like the name Jimmy. I don't let anybody call me Jimmy, but there was an old timer in high school who called me Jimmy, the health and safety teacher. And he's like, Jimmy. And he's the only one that I let call me Jimmy. It was nice. I want to talk a little bit about my White History Day, my 4th of July, Declaration of Independence Day. So, I did Jesse's show, I did my show, and then after that, grabbed a bite, I guess, and went over to the hills, the mountains. Well, the hills closer, more inland. I went to the suburbs. And so I went on a little hike. And I have some pictures that I can show you guys. Because I took a few pictures. There's the neighborhood that I went to. Yeah, I went to went to Sierra Madre, basically. Check it out. I used to live out in this area And so that's the view from the mountains, San Gabriel Valley. Very cool. Really nice. And then this place is where I used to live for like 9 months. I lived there like 15, 14 years ago. In the upper left side corner, that window in the upper left side, that's where I was. That was my room. And that's Sierra Madre. Very nice, quiet town. I just decided to check it out. It looks down on the rest of Arcadia and Pasadena. Well, Pasadena's a little further west, but yeah, I used to live there. That was fun. It was nice. I was right out of college. Actually, I think I might have even still been going to college a little bit. I shared that apartment with a cousin of mine. And so then after that, I went to my aunt and uncle's house where they had their annual 4th of July celebration. And sure enough, my nieces and nephews, being white, they decorated strawberries in red, white, and blue. What is that? Frosting and sprinkles and stuff like that. And cherries, sweet cherries in frosting and what is that stuff? Glittery, blue, sugary stuff. Sprinkles. Very delicious. I had one of each. And then they had, of course, my niece who, I think she just graduated high school, but she made these American flag cookies looking things. They're cool. Super nice. And what are those type of jars called? Ball jars or something like that. Those old-fashioned jars that you can close up. And they just look so cool. I didn't eat any of those. I wasn't feeling like cookies at the moment. But it was so nice. So I just thought I would share that with you. And I mentioned that ice cream. I took a little video of that old-fashioned ice cream that we used to hand crank. I had forgotten that we also had machine crank ice cream. So we didn't have any slave children, such as me and whoever else wanted to hand crank this year. So all we did was machine crank the ice cream and made old-fashioned homemade ice cream. And here's that clip, if you're ready. There's the paddles. And there's the machine. It's going. Old-fashioned bucket-looking thing. And it's cranking with a motor.
It's better.
Just thought I would show that to you guys. That was my 4th of July, and I went swimming with my cousins and brothers and nieces and nephews, and it was fun. Had hot dogs and hamburgers, and had a good old time. And then came home, and up and at 'em early in the morning for this. So it was really nice. Nice little walk. I got to take a little walk, and I got to take a little swim. Most exercise I've gotten in years. Pathetic, right? But it was good. So thank you to the founding fathers for creating this country and breaking free from England, because look how bad England is now. And we're following in their footsteps, but no, maybe we're turning around because thanks to people like you and Trump waking up and stopping it. So that's so nice. Maze. Oh man, I got to get to Charlie. Charlie out of Philadelphia. How are you doing?
Hi. Hey, Jake.
Hey, nice to hear from you.
I'm doing all right. Happy 4th and everything.
You as well. How was your 4th?
Oh, it was good. Saw fireworks and everything. But my question is, so I was thinking about calling Jesse and asking him what he thinks about white people saying the N-word.
Yeah.
And then looking into it, I saw that you have a little bit of history in that conversation, I think.
Yeah.
I may be right or wrong. Yeah, so I was just wondering, supposedly you said a joke to him one time that used the word.
Yeah.
And I was curious if you could tell, in honor of White History Month, and not being scared of the PC whatever, if you could tell the joke to the audience.
Okay, so the joke was, I was standing right here. I was his producer at the time, and I was like holding a pen or something in my hands. And he pulls it right out of my hands. and we had just gone through a whole bunch of is it racist to say the N-word type of controversy, because in viral videos every so often a white person will say the N-word and there's this big argument about whether it's racist and whether they should be fired and stuff. And so the N-word was on my mind, and so when he steals this thing, I'm like, N-word. Only I said it. For FCC reasons and stuff like that, I don't repeat it. And then plus I don't want to get beat up. I'm not in that good of shape. So
did you say the hard R?
Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm not going to say it like a black guy. I say it like a white man. And I don't believe in that distinction. That distinction is irrelevant, because the black men that say "nga," those black men are every bit as murderous, if not more, as the whites that used to say "ngr," and in fact, way more murderous of fellow blacks. So it's irrelevant. Blacks like to act like racism is worse than murder. It's not. Racism doesn't even exist. And so, and it shocked him when I said this to Jesse. I'm like, N-word.
He should.
Yeah, and he's he paused.
Scared if he was,
and then I've also told him, because we were saying it, he had me say it on radio because we didn't know about the FCC rules and stuff like that. And, it wasn't as big of a deal. Now they're pushing and pushing and pushing to make things offensive that were not and are not offensive. So they're pushing and pushing and pushing, meaning that the liberals are pushing really hard to make things taboo that aren't actually taboo. That's why they're trying to get rid of the Confederate flag, make it into a symbol that it's not, calling it a hate symbol, which it's not. The ADL, I think, that might even refer to the Anti-Defamation League that supposedly protect Jewish people from defamation by defaming whites and blacks. Anyways, all those people try to make it a bad word, but it's really, it's just something that you out of respect for people's feelings and stuff like that. I guess you don't have to say it. There's no need to say it. So that's why I've generally cut it out.
All right.
Yeah.
One last question, I'll let you go for many of other callers. Do you still do over-the-air, like radio transmission, or is it only internet now?
Right now, as far as I know, we're currently only internet only. We're on YouTube, Facebook when they're not censoring our video, D-Live, all those. There may be some stations that are pirate radio type stuff that are broadcasting us. We've heard of that every now and then. But as far as I know, we're online only. And, of course, on TalkStream Live, which you can dial a number and listen. And by we, I mean Jesse's show is on that listen line, TalkStream Live listen line. My show is not yet on that.
All right. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you, Charlie. By the way, are you white or black?
I'm a white person.
Nice. Be careful in Philly, the city of brotherly love. Yeah, right. Not anymore.
The bigger problem here is heroin.
Heroin, huh? Okay,
both
don't
white and black people.
Don't take heroin.
No, sir.
And don't get caught by people on heroin or heroin dealers. Don't get caught in the crossfire.
Them, for sure.
What's that?
You can outrun the junkies for sure.
Yeah.
So it's not. Yeah.
As long as they're not driving and swerve into you by accident, by whatever. All right, Charlie. Nice to hear from you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Maze, my favorite caller. Maze out of Dayton, Ohio. How are you doing?
Hello, James.
Hey.
Can I correct something? I like to correct things that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, real quick, but first, how was your 4th of July?
I was asleep.
You were asleep?
Yep.
Man.
And then I woke up and all the nature things that were happening, like the earthquakes and the rain and the lightning, I was enjoying all those festivities because it was not done by man. That's what I did for the 4th. Now, can I get back to what I was going to say?
Yeah.
Well, the guy that just sent it, that's hung up, in is not a word. Brain power. It's a letter. Get that. So if he want to use that, what he calls the word that y'all don't want to say,
yeah,
he could be one too. So what makes it so big deal to you?
Yeah, you know what? That's true. That when I got into the habit,
he can be one, but the reason why people of color don't like black people don't like for you to use it because his grandfather used it in a negative way. So
how do you know?
Do it like his grandfather and go on. What do you say?
You knew his grandfather?
Their grandfather, your grandfather.
What's my grandfather have to do with me? What's my grandfather have to do with my behavior?
Because you wanted to be, your behavior is his behavior, and you want to be like them. That's why.
So this is so dumb.
You want to use the word against people.
First of all, you don't know that. You don't know what anybody's grandfather did.
It was used against me.
First of all, you don't know what anybody's grandfather did. Second of all, that has nothing to do with it. And third of all, that just means that blacks are so dumb and brainwashed to be emotional about the stuff that they shouldn't even care about. That's dumb.
But no, James, can I finish this way?
All right.
He called me one, and I called him one back.
Nice. Right on.
It was really like he was going to burst into a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, I have used, back when I was using that word, hold on, Mace, back when I was using that word, I was using it for everybody because I learned it from a Mexican who referred to a white frat boy as a blanking blank, blanking N.
And that's what y'all changed the name for that, and you start calling them liberals. You stop calling them that word, and you start calling them liberals. That's what you did. But I tell you, Caucasian, liberal,
yeah, you're right. Liberals do act very ignorant.
And tell these people to stop talking about Obama because he is not as honest anymore. They hated him so much, but they just really love him because they want to hear him and hear his name and everything else. Let him get to the one that's that.
Who do you love and who do you hate?
I love everybody, and I don't hate anybody. And I'm not a Republican and I'm not a Democrat. That's why I got sent. Because both of the parties are the same. And the new caller that called yesterday.
Did you vote for Trump? Did you vote for Trump?
What?
Did you vote for Trump?
People vote are supposed to be personal. It's not your business.
What? You're acting white.
That's what I tell people that ask me, I do not vote for what? And I tell you, y'all so crazy about Trump here. I haven't seen that one president he don't win the hood to touch. He always on the stage talking to y'all, and y'all like that like nuts, just living in the there.
Yep.
When you should show compassion and love, people love you. When you don't, you gotta be. You gotta tell the lady that was on earlier. Learn to love Obama, and she'll get rid of some of her anger.
No, she's not afraid of black people anymore.
That's what it was. It was nothing else. Y'all just don't want to admit it. I tell you, when you're in denial, you say something won't happen.
Oh yeah, the crimes that blacks commit against whites don't actually happen. Those are not real.
Do what?
The crimes and open, blatant hatred and just nastiness from blacks towards whites, that doesn't happen.
You got Trayvon.
That's just our imagination. Trayvon Martin did something to George Zimmerman that caused George Zimmerman to shoot him.
What is George Zimmerman? What is he?
He is white Hispanic. He's a Democrat. He was a former Democrat.
He should have been dead like Trayvon Martin if that was the case. All the stuff he did.
That's a nasty thing to say about a man. That's how y'all do. Shame on you, Maze. That's wrong. You shouldn't wish death on an innocent man. All right, Maze. Dylan Roof was a kid and then he became a murderer. Yeah, I guess you could call him a thug. He's worse than a thug. He's worse than a thug. He was like a murderer, a mass murderer. That's worse than a thug.
And what he was doing on the way there.
All right.
And like I say, we're your conscience, and we always taking people in, and that's why those people ended up dead in that church, because they would have told them to stay out. If somebody had a gun and shot him, y'all would have been having a fit.
That would have been good.
They're like, just listen to us.
You don't know us.
He's giving y'all good advice. That's what y'all taking.
Yeah. Thanks, you too. Take care. Brandon, first-time caller out of Mississippi. Brandon, how are you?
What's up, Mr. Hank? I'm doing good.
Doing fine. How are you?
Yeah,
what you want to talk about?
That last caller was crazy, man.
Yeah, Maze has been following Jesse forever, keeping up and calling in, and now she calls in my show. It's great. It's a great honor. I appreciate it. But yeah, she is a bit of a mess sometimes. Anyways, go for it.
All that fast talking, he needs to learn how to separate logic and emotion.
Yeah, and separate words too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I actually called you, and I've got a customer in the vehicle with me, so I'm not able to talk anymore.
Oh, okay, no worries, man. You driving Uber or something?
Am I able to call back or something?
Yeah, you can call back. Well, we're coming to the end of the show. You can call back Monday or Sunday. Actually, I'm live Sundays, different from Jesse's. Well, Jesse has church
All right,
Sundays.
man.
All right, Brandon.
I can hit you back on it.
Thank you, man. Nice to hear from
Yes,
you.
sir.
Take care.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, I pulled a Jesse. Call back, man. Somebody who I hung up on. My bad. Oh, I totally messed up. I'm white. So, let me just double check. Nick out of Florida, first time caller. No, not a first time caller. How are you doing?
Yes, sir. It's my second time.
Yeah. Sorry about that, Nick. That was my mistake. Go for it.
Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month to you. Thank you. I love White History Month.
So far, so good.
Yeah. How was your 4th of
So what I
July?
was going to say was, you know how Mr. Jesse always talks about there's no such thing as racism and all the other things?
True.
Well, I believe that there's no such thing as homosexuals, gays, lesbians, all that either.
That's an interesting idea. Yeah, they
The reason why I say it is because
explain.
you never really heard all those terms in the Bible because it wasn't made up, just like the word racism wasn't made up.
Yeah.
What it is it's right and wrong.
Right. You know,
Right?
they
And we should have the knowledge inside us from God to let us know that it's not right. So, I mean, it's not really that he's got to tell you homosexuality is wrong, gays are wrong, and all that. It should just be, we should already know that.
You know, the Bible describes those acts like a man shouldn't lie with a man or a woman shouldn't lie with a woman as the opposite sexes lie with one another, meaning have sex with each other. And you're right, because it's wrong.
Come out of it.
That is, you're right. That's a evil act. It's a perversion, and so you're right. And you know, I was talking about how incels shouldn't identify themselves as incels, because by taking that name, they're taking either pride in it, or they're bringing that in as part of their identity.
They're creating an identity that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
That's like you were talking about earlier, the N-word.
Yeah.
Well, if we were to somehow eradicate and erase it off the face of the earth, there's just going to be another word made up.
Right. Exactly.
Yep. I mean, it's never going to be enough.
Yeah, just like
right
the gun
now,
thing.
We're just focusing on the N-word because we're not trying to think of another word.
Right. Yeah, they're just going to start using more dog whistles.
And leftists and right and all this other crap. It's just made up.
Yeah, it's good versus evil. You're making a great point.
Yeah, I mean, it's just getting.
And
it makes
so,
a good platform for a talk show.
Just like incels shouldn't call themselves incels because they become like proud or identifying with what their situation in life. So the homosexuals and lesbians shouldn't call themselves homosexuals and lesbians. They should just call themselves fallen state human beings. And they're stuck in attractions that they can't control at the moment, and they don't know how to get it over, and they're in a fallen state. Just leave it at that, rather than taking pride and calling it an identity, fake identity. That's not who you are. That's what you do and what you're into, and that's like a fallen state situation.
I mean, we could just continue to make up words to the cows come home, but I mean, like, we're never going to be satisfied or make other people satisfied.
You are so right, Nick. I appreciate this call. Great point.
I appreciate you. God bless.
All right, take care. Hope you had a nice 4th of July and have a good weekend. Great. Take care, man. Oops. Bye, guys. Church on Sunday, rebuildingtheman.com/church. My show is on Sunday, too, 9 a.m. Church at 11. That's Pacific time, Los Angeles time. Figure it out for where you are. And go to rebuildingtheman.com/church for church. Or thehakereport.com for the Hake Report. Thank you, guys. Take care.